Hello, how are you? Here I come on Sunday. I'm not watching the NFL. I am writing a marketing plan on page 4 for a brand new website that a partner and I just released here in the Vegas area. It's going to be a lead gen site. Very excited about it. And, as I'm developing this strategy, which is what I do for all my clients, I put all the details into an actual strategic plan and a program. I always write a strategic plan and a program for any time that I'm working with a brand, particularly when execution is key. And, we're not just theorizing or doing surveys or market research. We're actually developing a plan and a strategy that we're going to execute so as to generate attention, generate leads, and we're focused on what needs to be done, what resources we have to execute with, who's going to do it, how it's going to be done, when it's going to be done. All the details are worked out so that we are moving in a coordinated fashion. And as I'm writing this plan, something very important I feel that I wanted to share with you that is critical in generating more sales. And that is providing content for your leads as they go along the buyer's journey. Not everybody is going to close right away. There's many reasons why. They don't see the value yet. 2, they're not qualified to buy. 3, they're not interested in buying at this moment because they don't have the need. They see the need down the road. For instance, we want to buy a house one day, right? We're kind of looking. I want to buy the new Jeep one day. I want to buy the Bonneville Triumph one day soon, right? And for whatever reason, there could be challenges or barriers or just ideas of not buying right now, but they are definitely a prospect. So this is where content in the content marketing scheme really becomes important for you as a brand. So they may be following you on social media, they may be on your email list, they may be on your mailing list, whatever, somehow you're connected with them. And now is the opportunity to put your branded content in front of them. And the best type of content is the content that answers questions or gives insights. And this is really how you become authority as a brand, is by either creating or curating, meaning collecting from other resources, content that is on point to your audience's curiosities, needs, problems, worries, dreams, goals, aspirations, ambitions, right? It aligns with something, a reality within the mind. And when you communicate a reality, you increase affinity and understanding. This is a basic principle that I've learned in my philosophical studies. So if you understand the reality, and which are the needs, the challenges, hopes, dreams, ruins of your target audience, and you're constantly communicating insights and inspirational content and how-to content to that audience, you're going to brand yourself as an expert within the field. You don't even necessarily have to create the content. And I'll give you one example. Back when I lived in Orange County, there was a CPA that I worked for a while, or worked with, and his strategy was, he's like, Ed, I can't write content. I can't create content. So the trick became, we'll find tax-related, CPA-related, financial-related articles from Harvard Business Review, Inc., whatever it is, and you can post that content to your followers on social media, as well as on your email list. You can send out what's called a content roundup, meaning here's the top 5 articles that I found that I think would be of interest to you. Now, he did this for years, not once creating a piece of content, but taking the time and effort to go out and curate content that was not only relevant to his brand, because he was a CPA and it was financial information regarding taxes, investments, etc., but he also knew it was of interest to his target audience. And he told me that after 3 years of just every day curating and sharing great content from authoritative sites, he himself was positioned as an authority within his audience as well. If he's, because the assumption is this, well, if he is out there gathering this data, he must be filtering it, and then he's taking the effort to actually ensure that I get this information. He's really on top of his game. And he told me that other than referrals, this strategy was the best way that he was able to generate business, particularly from social channels and email. And moreover, his referral sources who were on his email list also were reminded of him, so it inspired even more opportunities for additional referrals. The buyer that you want to attract, I read a great book by a gentleman named Les Dane, who wrote a book. I think it's called, I don't know the exact word, it's Big League Sales, right? I think it's the general name, or Surefire Sales. I think it was a rebranded title of it. Anyways, Les Dane said that there's 3 types of prospects when you're selling. The first prospect is the guy who is qualified and ready to buy relatively right now, right? That could be right this moment or very soon. Then there's the person who's going to buy later. Like we're looking at homes, but we'll probably purchase it in 2018. That's the later guy. And then there's guys who are never. And he found in his book, as he talks about it, and you can buy the book and read it, is some people are ready to buy right now. And that really doesn't require much salesmanship, because the customer is driven by his own necessities to buy. That's the guy who shows up on the car lot. He's already decided to buy the F-150. He's just seeing if you have the model and the price point that he's ready to move at. But he doesn't really require being sold, because for years he's wanted one and now he's shown up to get one. Okay? And that's about 1/3 of the audience. They just show up to the mall, they show up to the showroom, they go to Walmart, they go to the casino, they're ready to buy. They already have the need. Then there's the person who's going to buy later, and that later could be tomorrow and it could be next year. And that requires salesmanship. And part of that salesmanship is where marketing and sales departments or divisions have to come together and work together, where marketing continues to educate, connect the brand so that they don't go elsewhere. I read a study one time why people don't remain loyal to a brand. And I think this is an incredible insight. This is an incredible takeaway from you and for you and for me, which is 67% of the people go from one brand to another, not because the original brand upset them, but because they felt that there was indifference from the original brand, right? They didn't feel connected, communicated to. There was no sense of loyalty. Yes, they bought a Ford, but because Ford didn't stay in communication with them, guess what? They're totally okay on buying a Chevy or Mercedes-Benz, because Ford didn't continue to market to them to stay within the F-150. So they see a commercial, Ford hasn't really shown them the love. It's not that Ford pissed them off. It's just that Ford didn't continue to create value over and over and sell them over and over with content, phone calls, offerings, free giveaways, whatever it is. And so they're like, well, the Chevy Silverado looks good, so let's just go buy that, right? That is the job of marketing when it's supposed to dovetail with sales, is that content continues to build value, build connection, and continues to add value while the next sales cycle or the original sales cycle is about to happen at some time soon. And then number 3, you have the prospects that they're never going to buy from you, right? You're a realtor, their sister's a realtor. It doesn't matter how well you sell them. They're never, ever, ever going to buy from you, because they're always going to give their real estate deals to their sister, or they're completely brand loyal, right? They're not going to buy another brand. They are a Dodgers fan. They're never buying a San Francisco Giants hat unless they intend to burn it, right? Or vice versa. They're just never going to buy that brand. So those third of the people you're never going to sell. So yes, you can send them content, but really they don't really belong in your ecosystem because they're just never going to buy. You should be saving your money and your efforts towards people that are going to buy right now, placing ads in front of them, and B, spending your efforts with phone calls and content marketing to nurture those people that are one day going to buy from you. That should be your ideal marketing strategy. Okay, so what types of content are there that you can use to nurture? And I'm going to give you the top 3, okay? Number 1 is video. Video. You should be doing video. I'm doing video right now, right? I'm connecting with people right now. So you have 2 types of video. You have the live video, which can be done with Snapchat, Instagram stories, Facebook, even now LinkedIn has live video, right? And that could just be an ongoing story. You've probably seen my caffeinated content. And then there's 2 where you can formalize the video, which could be like how-to videos, success stories, case studies, things like this that, you know, you can package a little bit more formally with a little bit more of forethought, and then you send that out to your email. You put that on your social media. You can even put it within your blog. You can, you can distribute that. You can put that in live presentations. You can give those to salespeople to help answer questions, etc. Right? Okay. Content number 2. You should be curating or collecting success stories with your product. You need to get what are referred to as third-party endorsements. A third-party endorsement is someone talking about me, because if I said, oh, I'm all that in a bag of chips and my services are amazing and it changes lives, it's ego. It's egotistical. And I'm going to tell you right now, one of the biggest mistakes I see in personal branding these days is it tends to be egocentric. And I'm telling you, in the age of transparency, putting your hot photo of yourself up there and trying to make yourself look like godly, the godly presence, there's very, very few people that can get away with that. Models can get away with that. Olympic athletes can get away with it. Some singers can get away with it. But it's very tough to be egocentric and win at the personal branding game. What's better is to have somebody else on video or Yelp review or through a case study talk about how you're achieving the result that you said you were going to achieve them, or they had a great experience. And when you put out that type of content of, hey, here's my latest 5-star review. Hey, here's a video success story of somebody who received my services and now their stats are going up, their sales are increasing. That's very powerful, and it's also a very highly trusted form of content. Okay, content form number 3 is curated content, which saves you a lot of time having to think of what content am I going to create, because this is a point of struggle. People do struggle with storyboarding, what to say, what kind of content should I create? So what I tell those people who continue to struggle in creating content is become a very good curator of content, meaning, like a curator in a museum. The curator doesn't paint any of the paintings or do any of the sculptures. He goes out and collects pieces and he puts it in a museum. And when you come to the museum and you pay the museum money, you're not seeing the art of someone that works at the museum. You're seeing the art of other people. The Drudge Report is a great website, a great example of curated content. So you can become the vehicle, the channel in which you scour the internet and you find valuable content, distill it, that's on point for your audience, and you can share that. You can share that through social media, you can share that through email, etc. Okay, so hopefully you've gotten a little insight here of how to use content to keep your brand top of mind, to to keep your brand relevant and to keep your content or to use that content to make your brand authoritative in the eyes of others, because people love to buy from brands that are authorities within their niches. And that's what you want to do with content. And content is a very, very effective strategy when executed correctly of putting your brand top of mind and creating that authoritative mindset or authoritative view, position in their mind of the prospect. This is Edwin Dearborn. Hope you found today's edition of my Facebook Live educational and insightful. I'm the author of Power Branding Secrets. You can get my book on Kindle and Amazon.com. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.